Well, from our voyage to Australia's Antarctic territories, we're off now to the northern rivers of New South Wales, from where the Two Thames report.
There's a place up in the hills in far northern New South Wales where the mainstream couldn't be any further from the mainstream.
It's a place where hippie culture still holds strong and where alternative lifestyle and living can be experienced in full colour. And there's no better place to see all this than right here in the hippie capital of Australia, Nimbin. Located in the Northern Rivers district of the New South Wales North Coast hinterland, Nimbin was once little more than a sleepy dairy town. It was, however, in 1973 when the town hosted a gathering of university students and hippies known as the Aquarius Festival, when the town started to be recognised as a hub for Australia's counterculture. Over the decades, Nimbin has seen its ups and downs, becoming the headquarters for groups seeking drug law reform and movements towards an alternative lifestyle. This often controversial part of Australia cannot be any further removed from mainstream society, and for this reason it proves to be a very colourful and entertaining place to visit. Needless to say, our dreadlocks and shaggy hair fitted right in. But to gain a bit of a background to the region, we decided to first visit the Nimbin Museum, which makes most other museums seem, well, pretty conservative.
Welcome to the Nimbin Museum. Make sure you go through and have a look. What we have is this path of the Rainbow Serpent. You follow that and it takes you in a chronological tour of the history of this place. You turn left at the Combi and go into the Bunjalung room, the Pioneer room, and from the Pioneer room, the Hippie room, down the sacred path of the forest into the cave. And you can see sort of along the path, the serpent will change colours. The hippies, so-called hippies, have been here since about 1973, since the Australian Union of Students did a lifestyle festival here. So it was a lot of engineering students and what have you came and built alternative dwellings, and a lot of them stayed on. And it was the time when everyone was discovering the alternate lifestyle and self-sufficiency and what have you. But it's real. I would describe Nimbin as a very real place.
One true icon of Nimbin's alternative lifestyle is located on the town's outskirts, in the historic Nimbin Butter Factory building. A place that prides itself on non-toxic handmade products, this is the Nimbin Candle Factory. The amount of colour there in the candle factory is almost overwhelming, and there is wax literally everywhere. It's almost as though the studio is a piece of artwork in itself. After speaking to the owner of the factory, it was clear that these artistic candle makers had a pretty special product they were producing.
It's probably one of the most simple ways to make a candle if you've got the patience and time to do it. So what's happened there is we've got a simple hydraulic system, just using water pressure, holding the whole thing up, and when we divert the pressure, the weight of the dipper pulls it down, and every time the candles go into the wax, they just get a layer added to them. We just build them up a layer at a time. When our candles come out, they're looking a bit rough like that, so we take this high-tech machine and we put a gloss on them like this. There we go. So it goes from that rough to smooth pretty quickly. It's an incredibly tolerant and friendly place to live. People are very sort of tolerant of everybody's little idiosyncrasies and things, and it's a lovely spot to be.
But now it's time for us to get out of Nimbin and check out some of the beautiful surrounding scenery. One of the key factors that attracted the alternative lifestyle seekers to the Northern Rivers district is the natural beauty that the region possesses. One particularly impressive place is the Nightcap National Park, with its numerous waterfalls, volcanic peaks and lush vegetation.
Inspired by the region's natural beauty and disgusted by plans of deforestation, the Nightcap National Park became the site of a fierce clash between loggers and environmentalists in the late 1970s, and an event that was to change Australia's environmental policies forever.
The Australian environmental movement was essentially started here in the Northern Rivers district, and looking around this lush environment, it's pretty easy to see why. This place here holds special significance, being the site of the very first successful anti-logging protest in Australian history. It's now called Protester Falls.
But this area here at Terania Creek, and where we're standing at the moment near Protesters Falls, this is very, very important, because this was the first place where people actually put their bodies in front of bulldozers and other machinery to stop logging. This was the first of the really full-on rainforest campaigns. Very much came out of the alternative lifestyle and the people who'd moved here after the Aquarius Festival in 1974. So the newcomers moved into those areas, and they happened to be people who loved nature, who wanted to get back to nature. And of course the idea of machines coming in and tearing these places apart was just not on. It basically was a new paradigm. It basically said, no, look, you know, some things just shouldn't happen. I mean, our relationship to the planet has got to be changed.
And it was a search for this peaceful mindset which found us at the tranquil and harmonious Mullumbimby Crystal Castle.
Look, we're all familiar with the phrase, when in Rome, do as the Romans. But if you apply that theory out here, well, things can get a little bit strange. We've just agreed to have our auras read by one of the spiritual locals here at the Mullumbimby Crystal Castle. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
Would you like to take a seat, Tim?
Yeah.
Have a seat. Okay. Those sensor pads actually pick up on your electromagnetic field, which is picked up through your meridian system in your palms, in your hands. What it will do is we'll pick up on how you're feeling at the moment. And each colour has a vibration. Because it's a biofeedback camera, it'll pick up on those various vibrations and interpret those colours. So the important thing is now that you relax, take some deep breaths, and just focus on your energy, how you're feeling, your heart space. And the important thing is that you let go of all outside distractions.
Back on planet Earth, it was time to have a look deep into my soul. And there on a simple Polaroid photograph was a picture of my aura.
Your heart is open, you know, your heart is showing that you really want to give everything you have of yourself, which is a great quality.
So while Tim took some time out to reflect on his own aura, I caught up with a local expert on alternative living to find out what the Crystal Castle is all about.
We are really the alternative community in many ways. At the same time, we feel that this is an example of a bridge. You know, we're really wanting to be a bridge to the normal, everyday mainstream, you might call it, in order to get just a sense of maybe what the alternative at heart is about, which is, you know, just being open about life, peaceful about life, and accepting and loving in nature.